Hi everyone. Today we can discuss about module 5. So this chapter actually discusses with the transactions and concurrency control in a distributed system or distributed application. So what do you mean by a transaction? Transaction actually it's a set of operations or sequences of operations or sequences of server operations that is guaranteed to be atomic or that should be atomic in the presence of multiple clients or if any server crashes, etc. Okay, so transaction means it's a number of operations are there, it's a sequence of operations, and all these operations should be in an atomic nature even if there are multiple clients or any server crashes occurs. So for implementing these transactions, we are using some protocols. They are known as concurrency control protocols. So these concurrency protocols can be implemented by using some three methods of operations are there. So that means we can use some locking system, or we can use some timestamp ordering mechanism, and we can use some optimistic concurrency control mechanism. Okay, all these three methods, if we are using a lock, or if we are using an optimistic concurrency control mechanism, or if we are using a timestamp ordering, all these methods are actually used for order the transactions that access the same objects according to some request order, or according to some starting time, or according to some operations like commit operations, etc. So for implementing transactions, we need a concurrency control mechanism by using locking, and by using optimistic concurrency control, and by using timestamp ordering. Okay. So actually all these objects are managed by server. Okay, and these objects should be in a consistent state even if multiple clients are there, or even if there is a presence of server crashes. Okay, that means all the objects should be managed by the server, and it should be atomic, or it should be in consistent state. There is no inconsistent return value, or there is no inconsistent value for these objects. There should be a consistency state for every object that should be managed by a server. Okay, so this transaction actually deals with the crash failures and omission failures. And some objects means not some objects, many of the objects are recoverable stage, or in its recoverable objects, because they are stored in a permanent, mostly they are stored in a permanent storage. They can be recovered even after the server crashes. Okay, they are known as actually recoverable objects. So നമ്മൾ ഈ ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ പഠിക്കുന്നത് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസ് ആണ്. ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂട്ടഡ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ സിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുറേ ഓപ്പറേഷൻസ്, സെർവർ ഓപ്പറേഷൻസിനെയാണ്. ഈ സെർവർ ഓപ്പറേഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ തന്നെ ഒരു അറ്റോമിക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കൺസിസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റേറ്റിലായിരിക്കണം. അതായത് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ക്ലയൻറ്റ്സ് നമ്മൾ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള വാല്യൂ ഷുഡ് ബി ഇൻ എ കൺസിസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്. അല്ലാതെ ഓരോ ടൈമിലും ഓരോ ഇൻകൺസിസ്റ്റൻസി വാല്യൂസ് ആയിരിക്കരുത് അത് റിട്ടേൺ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് ബി മാനേജ്ഡ് ബൈ ദ സെർവർ. ഓക്കെ, ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ക്ലയൻറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലോ സെർവർ ക്രാഷസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലോ എല്ലാ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസും ഷുഡ് ബി ഇൻ എ കൺസിസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, കറക്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കണം. ഓക്കെ, അതിനുവേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോട്ടോക്കോളാണ് കൺകറൻസി പ്രോട്ടോക്കോൾ. അതിൽ നമുക്ക് ലോക്കിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം, ഒപ്റ്റിമിസ്റ്റിക് കൺകറൻസി കൺട്രോൾ മെക്കാനിസം യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം, സം ടൈം സ്റ്റാമ്പ് ഓർഡറിങ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ട് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസിനെ ഓർഡർ ചെയ്യാം. വരുന്ന ടൈമിന്, സ്റ്റാർട്ടിംഗ് ടൈമിനനുസരിച്ച് നമുക്ക് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻസിനെ ഓർഡർ ചെയ്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോകാം. ലോക്കിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരേ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ രണ്ട് പേര് ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നു. ഇപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് മെത്തേഡ് ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യുവാണെങ്കിൽ ആ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ അവിടെ ലോക്ക് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കും. ആ ലോക്ക് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് ആർക്കും അതിനെ ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇതുപോലുള്ള 3 മെക്കാനിസം ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നമുക്ക് കൺകറൻസി കൺട്രോൾ മെക്കാനിസം നമുക്ക് ഇംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. Okay, so actually it is mainly used in banking sector. Okay, if we need to deposit some amount, or if we need to withdraw some amount, So we need an interface between the client and the server. For that we are using an account interface. Okay. If we need to create an account, or if we need to check an account, or if we need to get the total fund of a particular branch. So in between a client and server we need a branch interface. Okay. And the main issue in this banking sector is, if the server is designed in a careless manner, then it should be very difficult for the clients, or it should be very problem for the clients, or some clients will interfere with the other clients and it will result in an incorrect value. So that is the main issue in a banking sector. So a large number of transactions are happen in a banking. It should be in a consistent manner, or the server should be designed carefully. Otherwise the results will be incorrect. It will make an interference with each other in a client. Clear? So what are the operations in an account interface and branch interface? We have deposit, withdraw, get balance and set balance. All these operations are at the account interface. And we have a create, lookup and branch total operations at the branch interface. Okay. By using all these operations, we can implement a banking distributed application or banking transaction. So these are all the operations, or these are known as the transactions in a banking sector. Okay. So in a distributed application, we can use a multiple threads. Actually, when we use this multiple threads, it's actually a beneficial to the performance. Okay. But the problem is, if these multiple threads uses or access the same object, then they will create a problem. If we have two methods or two threads, deposit thread as well as withdraw threads, and they access the same objects, okay, that should be in a consistent way. Otherwise, it will create a problem. Okay, so for implementing these type of multiple threads in Java, what we are doing is we are using a synchronized keyword. Okay, whenever we are using a synchronized keyword by a thread, that object will be in a locked state. No other threads can access that objects at the same time. Okay, that means if we are using multiple threads for implementing a distributed application, all the operations should be in atomic, or all the transactions should be in atomic. In Java, it is by using a synchronized keyword. Okay, if we are implementing distributed application in a Java platform, we can use a synchronized keyword for implementing the transactions, for ensuring the transaction must be in a consistent way, or it must be in a atomic. Clear? So atomic operations, all the operations at the server are atomic. For enhancing some client operations, so there is a need of synchronization of server operations. Okay. If a large number of clients are there, then they use a server as a means of sharing some resources. So there should be a synchronization between these client operations. A best example is a producer and consumer problem. So there are mainly two threads are there, wait and notify. Actually, this wait mechanism is used for the locking purpose, and notification mechanism is used for restarting a particular thread. So whenever thread calls a wait operation, it suspends itself. So it's in a lock state. Okay. Whenever a thread calls a notify, that will inform another thread that the object that it has changed some of its data. So actually it's a notification thread. Okay. And the next one is a failure model of transaction. Actually, Lamson proposed a fault model. What all are failures are handled in transaction. So there are mainly 3 failures that can be handled or proposed in this fault model. That is, if there is any writing to a permanent storage, sometimes it may fail, so it will be handled by using this failure model. And the servers may crash occasionally, that can be also stated here. There may be an arbitrary delay before a message arrives, that can be also stated in this Lamson model. Okay. So a Lamson model is a failure model in a transaction. So this model states 3 main failures. Writes to permanent storage may fail, servers may crash occasionally, and there may be an arbitrary delay before a message arrives. So moving on to the transaction process. Actually, transaction is a database, was originally from a database management system. It contains a large number of sequences of operations at server. So if we have a multiple clients and they require a sequences of separate requests to a server, and they should be atomic in nature. So the concurrent clients cannot be interfere with each other, and all the operations must be completed successfully, and they have no effect at all in the presence of server crashes. So all the operations or the client request should be in an atomic state. So atomicity will be ensured within this transaction. For ensuring this atomicity, we need to check out 2 properties, all or nothing property and isolation property. All or nothing property means a transaction either completes successfully or it has no effect on. That is, completed successfully completed item, all or nothing property. So it should be ensured by using failure atomicity and durability. Failure atomicity means effects are atomic even when server crashes. Server crash ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാലും effects എപ്പോഴും atomic ആയിരിക്കണം. And durability means whatever transaction has completed successfully, all its effects, all the results must be stored in a permanent storage. Because we need to recover that results later. Okay. And the second property is isolation. That means all the operations must be in an atomic way, or they should not be interfere with each other. And the intermediate effects of a transaction must not be visible to other transactions. So that is actually atomicity. So for a banking sector, we can have a withdraw and deposit transactions. And in a if there is any coordinator interface is there, we can use 3 operations: open transaction, close transaction, and abort transaction. Open transaction for starting a transaction, and close transaction is for ending a transaction, and they have a commit value or an abort value, and abort transaction, it aborts the transaction. So there are 3 life histories for a transaction. One is successful transaction, otherwise sometimes it will be aborted by the client, or sometimes it will be aborted by the server. If it is a successful transaction, we can open the transaction and can do all the operations in a sequence, and finally it will close the transaction. And second life history is aborted by the client. If I am a client in a banking sector, I can open a transaction and I can do some of the operations. In between, I feel I can close a transaction. I does not need this transaction, so I can close. So it's actually aborted by the client. And aborted by the server means if I'm a client in a banking sector, I can open a transaction and then I can do some of the operations, but sometimes it will be showing that the transaction is entered, or it's a failure transaction. That means they are aborted by the server. Okay. So these are all about the introduction part of transaction. Thank you.